The views and opinions expressed by the On the Spot with David Rodgers show are solely based on the show's hosts, guests, and viewers. We are solely responsible for all the content in its entirety and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of any sponsors in any way. These broadcasts girls, children of all ages. It's David Rodgers' team in the hope that it will be entertaining and informative to our viewers and listening audience. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's 7 o'clock and time for On the Spot with David Rodgers. And now, here he is, Mr. Friday Night, the show pony himself, the man, the dream, the legendary David Rodgers.
Good evening, folks. Welcome to On the Spot with David Rodgers. I am Mr. Friday Night on Fall Football Friday nights. And the show pony himself, creator and host of On the Spot with David Rodgers. And look who I got next to me. He's back, ladies and gentlemen. This is my co-host, the Byron Bagwell.
Good evening, everybody.
Right along with the dancing destroyer himself, Super Dave Holland, holding down the fort, keeping the controls ready. Man, look at that picture, Byron. Perfect, isn't it?
It looks really good tonight.
Yes, sir. So great to have you along, guys. Tonight's show is sponsored by Mitchell Gunner Racing, and the On the Spot Motorsports media page. Tune in on Thursdays to hear the latest from the guru of motorsports, Mitchell Gunner, and by On the Spot Lawn Care. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, some people has asked me. I do still own it, but I am trying to sell it. So if you're interested in buying a lawn service, holler at me, and I'll tell you how to get there. But for now, I do still own that. Now is the time to plan for who takes care of your lawn. Let the red, white, and blue take care of your green. Call me at 904-966-1633, or you can hit me up at david.rogers1352 at yahoo.com or david.rogers, how about this one, 1532 at gmail.com. Or on this one here, On the Spot, 32091 at gmail.com. There's all kinds of ways you can reach me. You can reach out to these folks. They'll get me the messages as well. So, again, great to have you along. No Austin Stevens tonight, as he is busy. And Mitchell Gunner, of course, working on his show that he's going to be doing Thursday night, and we'll talk about that. Let's get the show started, as we always do, with our prayer, our pledge, and our patriotic quote of the night. I'm going to do a little something different, David, tonight. Yeah. And I'm going to ask the Byron Bagwell if he'd lead us in our invocation tonight. How about that?
Wow, that sounds great.
How about it, B?
That sounds fine.
All right.
Dear Heavenly Father, I'd like to thank you so much for the liberties and the freedoms that you have granted us here in this wonderful country. Please keep your protection and your guiding hand on all of those who help run our nation and run our local governments and state governments. Please keep your guiding and protecting hand as a cover and a protection on all of those that serve this country, all of those who protect this country, and our military, our firefighters, our police, our veterans who have served in the past. Please keep your guiding hand on the principles that guide our politicians and people in everyday life. Give them the common sense and the intelligence to understand what this nation needs and guide it in the right direction in your light and your son's light. If anybody has an unspoken or spoken prayer request, please answer that for them. Please guide your hands over all of our viewers and all of our loved ones and our families, and keep them protected from harm, and know that they are always in our prayers and are protected by you. We ask all of these things in your Son's name, Jesus Christ, and the congregation says,
Amen. Let us stand for our pledge, and I'm going to do a little something different tonight. Not really. So as we stand, and I'm going to ask Mr. Dave Holland, if he would, to lead us in our pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Thank you, David, very much for that. All right. Let's get the show started. Again, welcome into On the Spot with David Rodgers. After a week's worth of hiatus, I had a couple of guys down, but they're back in full force tonight. I am your creator and host, David Rodgers, right along with co-creator and co-host, the Byron Bagwell, and also another creator of the show and puts his highlights and his spots on it. He is the Dancing Destroyer, Super Dave Holland. Welcome in again to a wonderful podcast. All right, now we're going to get to our patriotic quote of the night. And I know Byron's got a couple of them here, but I noticed something on the back of Byron's shirt. And I know this one very well, so I'm not even going to answer. And I think some of you will as well. So I'm going to ask the Byron Bagwell, do we want to start there or do we want to start with the other one?
Start here.
All right, can you stand up for me, please, Byron? The tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of what? Patriots and tyrants. Byron, stand up and show them that pretty shirt right there, if you don't mind. They don't have the answer on it there. There you go right there, as you can see. Trying to pull that down. I'm not playing with your rear end, Byron, I promise. But anyway, there it is right there. Who said that quote? David, I know you know this quote already. You've heard it many times. So I'm going to let Byron go through the comments and welcome in some people. Byron, who do we got on with us tonight?
Well, we have Melissa Cribbs.
Oh, really? Hello, Melissa. I just seen her last night.
Randy Brooks.
I like Randy Brooks. I used to work with Randy.
Richard Morano.
Yeah, Richard. Yeah, I know Richard. You know that LCCW owner. Yeah, championship. Yeah, absolutely.
And then, of course, Miss Shirley Bagwell.
Hello, Mom. Yeah, there's Miss Shirley.
And my brother from another mother, Mr. Dwight Allen.
Mr. Dwight Allen. Hey, I'll tell you what. You know, Mr. Dwight Allen, I've got to give him props before you go to... Mr. Dwight Allen is probably one of the most patriotic guys that I know, besides yourself, that has never served.
That's right.
Isn't that crazy? How you don't even have to serve to know how much that you love your country and the things that go on in it. The reason I know this is because he's always posting something in relevance to that.
Yeah.
And Dwight, we love to have you, brother. And maybe one night when you're not working, you can come join us on the show. How about that? There's an open invite. How about that?
Absolutely. Would love to have you.
Absolutely.
As soon as he gets comfortable,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we can make him.
Oh, we can. Yeah.
Yeah, the stuff that will be said on this show
will be awesome.
Yes,
I can assure you that.
Yes,
the reason Dwight don't come on, he's got to get up early as well. Both of us are probably on the road about the same time, and I know he needs to get his rest. So, but anytime that he can come on, definitely come on. What else you got?
Well, Dwight says, "Good evening, fellow patriots," and amen.
Amen to that.
Mom says, "Good evening, gentlemen." Roy Jackson says, "Hello, everybody." Unspoken prayer request for my sister.
Yes.
That's my aunt from Mom, yes.
And can I stop you right there? There's another unspoken prayer request. I just found out this afternoon as I was talking to the Mitchell Gunner. His son Zane, as I was talking to him, piped up 103 temp.
Ooh. Whoa.
They tested him for COVID. They didn't think it was COVID, but that temperature scared him, so I think they're taking him over to the medical facilities here in Stark. I don't know if they went to Stark or Gainesville.
103 is
Yeah,
high.
whew, that's very high.
Pretty high.
So I want to make sure that we say, Mitchell, we're praying for you, and
Absolutely.
Zane, and Nikki. So, hey, your prayers are with us, brother.
And Olivia Hill
Olivia Hill. I'm going to tell you a little something about Olivia. She likes podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
So she started watching podcasts. I don't really never really met her in person, but she picked up on the podcast. She keeps telling me she loves it, and she's in Maryland. She's telling everybody in Maryland about our podcast. She's just outside of Washington, D.C., and that's a great, great place to spread the word.
Yes. Absolutely. She says, "Good evening, everyone." Mr. Austin Stevens is watching.
Okay.
Melissa Cribbs says, "Hello, gentlemen."
Hello.
Dave Holland. Dave Holland. Dave Holland.
Is Dave Holland watching?
Dave Holland is watching.
Okay, all right.
Dwight says, thank you, brothers. Tom Bailey is watching. And Michael Box says, greetings from Franklin, Kentucky.
How about that? You see, do you see what happens when good thing? I know he's a truck driver, but still, he watches the podcast. And he's all over the United States. You know what? He's probably at a truck stop and says, you know what, guys? Hey, my brother's down here in Stark. They're doing a podcast right now. Make sure to get on the spot with David Rodgers. And boom, there, we got more viewers.
Tom Bailey, just ask him, is he at the Flying J?
See, he probably is at the Flying J. Tom Bailey, a truck driver as well. Tom Bailey from the area as well. He lives in Alabama now.
Austin Stevens said, good evening.
Good evening to you, Austin.
Absolutely.
All right, so that's most of our comments right there. Again, welcome in On the Spot with David Rodgers. The Dave Holland is over here, the Dancing Destroyer. I promise you, in a couple of weeks, he's going to show y'all how to do the Cupid Shuffle. Here's the Byron Bagwell. Here's the Byron Bagwell right here with me. Finally able to get him on the show when he can make it.
Maybe some of the people didn't hear the quote for tonight.
That's right, yeah.
The tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants.
Yes, got to get an answer there.
We don't have any answers.
We don't have any answers yet. Anybody want to take us down?
Real
easy, yeah. Because that other one that you showed me, I would have never guessed that.
Oh no, that's the first time I'd ever heard that quote.
Yeah, me too.
It just popped up.
So this is your chance, ladies and gentlemen, to answer. And I'll tell you what, man, I've got a bunch of them. Chrissy, man. Hey, this show is sponsored by the Downtown Grill as well. We give away all kinds of things. I tell you what. If somebody wants to take a stab at that, the first one that comes across, David, $10 gift certificate at Downtown Grill. Yeah. I'm going to write it up right now.
But you got to get it right.
That's right. $10. Let me write it down. Authorized by me. Any answers, Byron? I am surprised. So let's see here.
I'm surprised that nobody is taking
OTS quote. Yeah. So nobody, huh? Oh, man.
Maybe I need to refresh this.
Maybe you need to refresh. I don't know. But anyway, I'm surprised somebody's bound to have guessed it there by now. But anyway, you've heard the quote a couple of times. First one to get it right. There it is. $10 gift certificate Downtown Grill. For just getting that. That'll get you a free appetizer. Hey.
I am really surprised Dwight has not piped up about
this. Maybe he wants to give somebody else a chance. You know, he does do a lot of things at the grill, and he is related to the grill. So maybe Dwight just...
Do you know how much Dwight likes to eat?
Oh, well, I do know how much Dwight likes to eat.
Like we like to eat.
Yep, yeah, he does. And, boy, I tell you what, speaking of appetites, mine is about to growl. But anyway, the liver and onions, Dwight, liver and onions.
I need to keep my arm over here.
Yeah, you do, because it may get ate up. Here we go. Dwight says Thomas Jefferson.
That's the first one.
That's the first one, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay. Bing, 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 Dwight Allen. Let me write Dwight's name on there. Dwight.
Chocolate cake.
Yeah. Well, speaking of chocolate cakes, we talked about that, David. Hold that for me.
And the correct answer is Thomas
Jefferson.
It is
Thomas Jefferson.
It's one of the most famous quotes Thomas Jefferson used.
One of the most famous quotes around, period.
But the problem is now that we have demonized not only Thomas Jefferson but this quote.
Yes, we have.
So it amazes me what we do.
Yep. All right, David.
I just ate some baby back ribs. They're delicious.
Oh man, why didn't you bring us some? I bet he smoked them too. I bet he did it himself.
There's no telling what Dwight's done.
Yeah, no telling what Dwight's done. And what did Miss Shirley say? A chocolate cake may be coming?
Yep.
Oh, man, that's good. We talked about that, too.
If you'd known that I would make it tonight, that would have happened.
Yes, yeah, but we didn't know.
I didn't know what was going to happen because I had an unusual day today.
I'm working on my truck and listening in. See, that's a faithful, he's a top fan. Did you know that? So I'm one of the only few top fans that we have, besides Shirley and a couple of others.
Wait a minute now, I'm a top fan.
Are you?
Yeah.
Of what? Of On the Spot?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Thomas Jefferson, there you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
You want another one, or you want to go on?
Well, yeah, let's get another one. Let's get another one. As we get another one, I want to talk about some things that are going to be coming up, and we're going to make it a great show tonight. Me and Byron, I've got a little side bet with Byron here that we're going to get into in a little bit, and I know Byron's laughing because he says, yeah, I'm going to take you on this one, I do believe, but we're going to get into that here in just a little bit. What do you got, B?
He who dares not offend cannot be honest. He who dares not offend cannot be honest. And it is another founding father.
Oh, boy. I'm going, I'm going Ben Franklin.
Give you a little bit of a hint.
Okay. It wasn't Ben Franklin then.
Give everybody a little bit of a hint.
Okay.
This is one of the biggest loudmouths of our founding fathers.
Oh. I'm going then. Who are you going with, Dave? Loudmouth.
Hancock.
No, that's a great guess, though.
Yeah, it is, because he was a loudmouth. Let me see. I'm going with I'm going with Adams.
That was one of my guesses.
I'm going with Adams.
Give you one. Whoa! Stephen Rigdon.
Did he nail it?
He nailed that one.
Thomas Paine.
The answer to that is Thomas Paine.
But that's a good one too, Dwight.
Shirley
said, yes,
Thomas Paine.
Thomas Paine.
Yep.
How about that? Wow. Good job. Stephen Rigdon. You know Stephen?
I believe I do.
Okay, well, that's great. Because Stephen Rigdon and everybody that's listening in is going to have a chance to win something else as we play our famous card game here in just a couple of minutes. But first, we're going to take a commercial break so we can pay some bills, because we are coming up with the roundtable here right after these messages.
Hey Tornado fans, this is Kurt Miracle of Miracle Automotive and Towing, proud sponsors of Tornado Football. I want to welcome you to beautiful Stark, Florida at David Hurst Stadium, and thank you for letting us be a part of this community. We're here for more than your automotive and towing needs. We're here to be part of Tornado Country. Go Big Red!
All right, this is the roundtable. We go around the region, around the table with the latest news and notes. Don't have a lot of printed news per se, but we do have a lot of things coming on. And I want to start, Byron, at Bradford High School.
Yeah.
Of course, you know our Tornadoes, which is going to be great again next year. And we're going to get into that all summer and building up toward this thing. Got a lot of great players coming back. Got a good nucleus of players from last year's team. Byron, the schedule's almost the same, except the teams that came here, we're going on the road to visit. So ought to be an interesting time between us, and maybe Cliff Smelly will ride with us.
It'll be fun.
Oh, that will be fun.
Especially that 2.5 hour trip to Quincy.
Yes, we're looking forward to that. That's for sure.
I'm looking forward to that game because I think that game will determine how good Bradford really is.
I think so. All right. Congratulations to this month's top Tornadoes. Matthew Stafford, Agape Maringi, Cynthia Nielsen, and Lauren Bowen. Thank you for being top models at BHS. The library, forget it. No more checking out books this year. And by the way, Shirley Bagwell will tell you, please return all your library books to the media center as soon as possible. Because do you know what, David? You can't walk across that stage unless everything is checked off on all your blocks, to include books. And fines paid, right, B?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, boy, you won't be walking across that stage Friday night. Ooh, that's right. They continue state testing this week, as Wednesday they'll have U.S. History, EOC for AP students, and Thursday EOC makeups. They already did CPR training. Thank goodness to our firefighters here. Gave some CPR training to 9th and 11th graders. Again, courtesy of the Bradford County EMS. All right. Let's see what we got here. Yearbooks are in, Byron. Students who have ordered and may pick up theirs during lunches or before or after school, so make sure you get your yearbook. Fellowship of Christian Athletes still meet on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 a.m. Final couple coming up. Please come for free food and fellowship. All students are welcome. I used to go, Byron, just to get some free food. No, I went there for the fellowship too and learning the Bible. Byron's not believing.
I need to get away from you before the lightning hits you.
Oh, ooh. Algebra 1, Algebra 2, and Geometry. Students can access the math textbook by going to ClassLink and clicking on Algebra Nation. By the way, Byron, this is the last week of those lessons. So if you missed a lesson, you need to catch it up online. So you better do it quickly. I ain't got to remind you about the reminders. Tuesday night, tonight, some things that are going on. If your student is a senior, you should be at Seniors Awards Ceremony tonight. Started at 6 o'clock in the auditorium. The dress was business casual. Miss Shelley Rogers is there coordinating that thing, getting that thing, making sure that's going on. Who else's name would be on there? Yeah, you know Miss Shelley Rogers, what she does for that school.
And
Shirley
my mother
knows
made a
too.
good point with this. She said that returning those books are important because you cannot graduate.
And that's
you
what
have
can't
late
walk across that
funds.
stage.
Can't
Can't graduate either. I mean,
So return your books, guys.
please return your books. Again, Senior Award Ceremony tonight. Tomorrow night is the Senior Baccalaureate service at 6 p.m. in the auditorium again. All seniors are invited to attend. The dress is business casual. And remember, this is the most important, Byron, wear your cap
And gown.
and gown. That's right. Thursday is the yearbook signing party. Dinner's provided at 4:30 p.m. in the cafeteria. Then a mandatory graduation practice beginning in the gym at 5. Go ahead. So remember, Thursday's yearbook signing party. Dave, are we going to eat? I think we're going to eat there. Never mind. I'm thinking about food. Friday is graduation at 8 p.m. Dress is business casual. All seniors must arrive in the gym by 6:30. No one else is allowed in the gym. The gates will open at 6:30 for the public. There'll be seating on the field. There'll be seating in the stands. There's going to be a firework display. No speaker this year. As far as an honored speaker, we have 184 students graduating. So once everything starts commencing, it should go pretty quickly. Make sure if you're wearing heels that, hey, especially to all the women, make sure that your heels are at least got some kind of cover and not pointed so it don't make any holes, of course, in our beautiful AstroTurf there at David Hurst Stadium. And that's all I have besides school ending. And, of course, spring football's going on right now. Spring football is happening, and me and Byron will be calling a game next week as Gainesville Buchholz comes to visit our Tornadoes. They made it to the same spot we did. That will be on Facebook Live next Thursday night as the Buchholz, are they the Rams? No, they're not the Rams. They're the Buchholz Bobcats.
Bobcats.
They're the Buchholz Bobcats, and they will be coming into David Hurst Stadium to take on our Tornadoes. Me and Byron to do the game live on Facebook to get us a little practice, get us a little juice flowing. And again, we'll see what our Tornadoes are made of.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
The team that really we shall not name, just call them the Kittens.
Oh, yes, I know them.
The first game of the year.
First game of the year here at David Hurst Stadium.
That's what I wanted to make sure of. I wanted to make sure
Yep.
they didn't play any shenanigans because what went on last year.
Well, yeah, because we got them twice. And Byron, you said you went back into folklore of history there, and you can't remember when we've got them twice. Have we even played them twice in 1 year? I'm probably sure we have when we was in
Man, I don't remember. I really don't remember if we've ever played them twice. But man.
Yeah. Well, anyway, just a couple of local things here. If you was listening last week, there was a home destroyed in Rayford. Minor injuries off there for 229 on May the 8th. People got out of there. They lost their home, but, hey, they're unscathed. And Deputy Caleb Evans from the UCSO, which is the Union County Sheriff's Office, rescued this beautiful bulldog. Look at that thing, man.
Yeah.
I want one of them.
English Bulldog.
Bulldog. Boy, he's pretty, ain't he?
Yes, he is.
He's pretty. So, again.
Slobber and mess. But
Yeah, slobber and mess, but hey, that's okay. Hey, food distribution thing was going on today, feeding Northeast Florida, and True Vine Ministry took place today at 9 a.m. at the Bradford County Fairground. Food boxes often included fresh produce, deli and bakery items, dairy, and some meats. And I hope everybody got their fill of that, Byron. Anybody that needed food, because we have a lot of people here in our community that depend on our food banks and people helping them out. So I hope you got your allotment, because, Byron, in this great country today, and we're going to get into this a little bit, in this great country today, there should not be anybody that's starving for food, or should be starving in any community, with so much that I know, and you know this, that they throw away each and every night at McDonald's, Wendy's.
It's just not what we throw away. It's the fact that they don't allow farmers to farm.
Farm, right. It's all mandated by government.
If the farmers in America farmed all the land that they could farm and were allowed to produce the amount of food that they could produce, we could feed the world.
Yes, we could.
I did want to bring up something really quick.
Okay.
There is a Jacksonville election going on tonight. Thank you for reminding us, Stephen. Appreciate that. What I'm going to do, what we're doing right now is we're pulling that information up.
Okay.
Stephen works with me.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. I thought Stephen works with you.
Yeah.
So that's a
Stephen.
good man. Big time into delivering and helping out the
Really
yeah.
great guy. You know, he really cares about what we do at the hospice that we work for.
Yeah, and he said results are coming in now, according to Shirley. Return your books. Yeah, you better. Shirley does a great job, Shirley says. Yeah, I'll tell you.
Mom!
What did she say?
Yeah, you can't do that right now. You should have done that earlier. She said she was a hick until she got cheating with Tom Deegan.
With Tim Deegan? Yeah. Well, you know, there was some shenanigans going on there.
Well,
we all know that.
A little bit of shenanigans going on there.
Yeah,
we're getting the election results in. Steve,
Yeah,
and we're gonna talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, we are. We sure are. Juneteenth pageant announced. The Juneteenth Committee and Shirley Ann Brown Livingston Scholarship Foundation are hosting the inaugural Juneteenth pageant for young ladies ages 15 to 18. The event will be held on June 17th from 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. This is a formal affair. The social hour will begin from 5 to 6 p.m. and the pageant will begin promptly at 6 p.m. All are invited to attend this community event for the cost of admission. Juneteenth is a federal holiday to commemorate the emancipation of enslaved people in the United States. For more information about this event, please visit Eventbrite and search for the first annual Miss Juneteenth Pageant 2023. You will find the application for potential candidates, deadlines, information on admission and fees, donations, options, and more. This event is sponsored by the Shirley Ann Brown Livingston Foundation. If you have any questions or for visiting the site, please reach out to event coordinator. Hey, you probably know this lady, Valera Petaway, at 1-912-612-3942. Does that sound familiar, Petaway? Possibly.
Now, I do have a little bit of trivia to ask everybody.
Okay.
With the Emancipation Proclamation that one of our greatest presidents issued during the Civil War.
Yep, Abe Lincoln.
Were all the slaves in the United States emancipated?
I know the answer to that.
I don't know.
Does anybody get that? Shirley's
She's going
off on that, isn't she?
She's going on about
She's
Hickey
going about on that.
or Deegan.
Yeah. So I see Rob Barrick's on Byron.
Rob, welcome back, buddy.
Yeah, man. Where's Barbie? Like
There
to see
is
Barbie.
no telling.
There's no telling with Barbie.
They caught her with Tim downtown in the car years back.
Yeah, they did. Did you know that? They did. Yeah. They was in a parking garage or something, and somebody caught them in that parking garage. That goes to show you can't go nowhere, man. You think you're safe and you can't go nowhere.
Well, you can't. That's not intelligent.
No, it's not.
It's not intelligent.
No.
But look, they're coming in with some answers, and they actually answered right. And the answer was yes. That is correct. No, there were none of the slaves emancipated in the North. The Emancipation Proclamation, right. It was all south of the Mason-Dixon line, which is not even talked about anymore.
No.
But, there was a long road with the slaves inside of America to free people from slavery.
All right.
Whole bunch of that. That's not
A whole bunch of that. Free STEM summer camps. The Bradford County School District and Cade Museum for Creativity and Invention are excited to offer 2 STEAM summer camps in Bradford County. This is free. Confidence Boosting STEAM Camp allows BCSD rising 3rd through 5th grade students to build creative inventions and lasting friendships. Seating is limited and registration is first come, first serve. Parent transportation is required. June the 12th through the 15th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Camp activities, 8:30 to 3:30. Southside Elementary School is registration, which includes, free lunch. Byron, and an afternoon snack. Why do I keep getting this food stuff?
Yeah.
No, God, I love to eat, Byron. Go to BITL/Cade Camp 2 to complete your registration. Hey, July the 10th through the 13th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Camp activities at Stark Elementary School. Registration includes free breakfast and lunch. Go to the same site, bit.ly/Cade Camp July. So that going
Do
on.
I need to call and order a pizza, David?
I may need to call and order something. But that's just a couple of news stories and some things going on. You can get it out of your Bradford County Telegraph, which is one of our partners that partners up with us and gives us our news and sometimes our weather if we don't have Austin's weather service. So anyway, that is that. Do want to talk about Splash Bash real quick, Byron. We had a meeting last night. Michael Heater is the head of the Splash Bash committee. He's the one that's organized the last couple of years. Last year, a little over 5,000 attendees, Byron. That is an awesome number. They're looking to double that, at least 10,000. It's bigger and better this year. Last year, we only had just a couple of live acts, but this year we got 6 live acts. I'll be on stage emceeing and doing the opening ceremonies and all that, so I will be the voice of the Stark Splash Bash, as Mike is and his crew and everybody else is going to be doing several things. But Byron, I'm going to be in charge of the entertainment. I'll be in charge of on-stage music and working with Matt Peterson and J.D. Norman, which you heard here before, Joel Norman. He will be assisting us as well. Again, we've got 6 great acts. We're going to be putting that out. Don't forget that there's all kinds of things going on, to include a softball game between the fire guys and the police guys.
Yep.
Guns and hoses.
Yep.
Softball game. At that softball game, we're going to be doing 50-50 tickets. If your team wins, let's say you buy it from the police department. If the police department wins, they'll pull the winning ticket out of the police department hat, and whoever wins that will win half the prize, whatever that may be, and then the other half is going to shop with the cop.
Chop with the cop, yeah.
Yeah, and also the snow guy's going to be there. The snow machine's going to be there for ice, those shaved ice things.
Yeah.
And he said he's going to donate half of his profits from that particular softball game.
With the cop.
Shop with a Cop too.
Yeah.
So Barry Warren doing a great job with Shop with a Cop. Keep it up, Captain Barry Warren. You're doing a great job with that, and it gets bigger and better, Byron. 200 kids, 250. The number's just phenomenal. They started off with like 20.
Well, you have so much stuff going on that you can bring your kids to and bring yourself to, because there's entertainment for the adults and entertainment for the kids. It's a really good event, and there'll be fireworks again.
Yeah, absolutely. There's going to be fireworks.
There's a fireworks show. There's music. There's a splash park. There's a cornhole tournament.
Yep.
There's a softball game.
Yep.
It just keeps going on and on and on and on and on. And it's a good event to go to.
It is. And hey, especially $3 pre-sale tickets. That is being done at the sheriff's office, being done at the police department and city hall. So you can do that. And we're also trying to set up one for in front of WEAG Eagle Country 106.3 the first Saturday in June. Some of us going to be out there. Come on in, check us out. We'll be posting on the radio, on the community bulletin board, and we'll be talking about it here. $3 pre-sale tickets. Where can you go? Can I ask you something?
To get that much entertainment, no.
Yeah, nowhere. If somebody can tell me here on the show, I mean, I don't know of any place you can go for $3. Even the day of. Let's say you forget or you don't have the money right now, but you'll have it by that day, on the day of. It's still only $5.
Yeah.
Where are you going, David? Where are you going for entertainment, David, for $5? Can you tell me of any place that you know of that you can do that? No? Me neither. So I'm just going to go with that. How about that? So
apparently
Kona Ice.
Apparently Donna won.
Donna won?
Yeah,
Donna already won, they call it.
Name recognition won her that election, and Stephen's absolutely right. You're her guy. Sorry, Stephen. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and Stephen, Jacksonville's had its own problems. I know they had a big issue downtown over the weekend. Did you read about that? Where there was, it wasn't rioting per se, but there was some clubs down there that got a little rowdy, and they all started to come out on the streets, and they had to bring barricades and police and, and armed gear and things like that to solve this thing here. So, Jacksonville, has got its own problems, and now, I'm not going to get into it no more. So,
Look, people are going to vote for name recognition. That's going to happen. You're going to get that. It doesn't matter what their politics are,
right?
Because there's a lot of people that don't care at all about politics,
right?
So you're going to get that. And
yes,
with Donna, Dick and Deegan, whatever she is, that she is a known name. She was on and still is on the news.
Yep.
And has been forever.
Yep.
The problem to me with that is real simple. Just because you're a news anchor does not mean you know what you're doing with politics.
Absolutely not.
You may have a good heart. You may want to do well, but that does not mean you can play the political game well at all. And that's a mistake, is what that is.
All right. So here we go. Hey, how about reading some results there?
Yeah.
There you go, Byron. I'll let you take care of that while I'm doing this.
Jacksonville elections. Jacksonville Mayor Donna Deegan, Democrat beat Daniel Davis. Republican 54% to 46%.
Close race.
Property appraiser Joyce Morgan, Democrat, beat out Jason Fisher. I'm really surprised about that. I know Jason Fisher.
I do too.
He is a really good guy and a really intelligent guy and really knows what he's doing. Republican, she beat him out 52 to 48%. Jacksonville City at large, Group 5. Chris Miller, Republican, won 52% over Charles Garrison, 48%. Mm-hmm. Jacksonville City Council District 2, Mike Gay, Republican, beat out Lindsey Brook, Republican, 52 to 48%. Jacksonville City Council District 7, Jimmy Peloso, Democrat, 165 to Joseph Hawkins, 35%.
I'm surprised about that.
District 7.
Yeah.
You get to do
that's on that line. Yeah.
Jacksonville City Council District 8. Reggie Gaffney Jr., Democrat, won 52%. Tamika Gaines is Democrat, 48%. And City Council District 9, Torona Clark Murray, Democrat, beat out Mike Muldoon.
Muldoon?
Muldoon.
Muldoon there, yeah.
Torona is a Democrat, 54% to the Republicans, 46%. Jacksonville City Council District 11, Paul Aris won out 53% to Raymond Days, Democrat, 47%. City Council District 14, Raman Johnson, Democrat, won 55% to John Draper's Republicans, 45%.
So it looks like a lot of Democratic wins there for Jacksonville. Shifts it back and forth.
And that's going to happen in cities. The city elections are normally more volatile than national elections.
They are.
They just are.
Dwight Allen, listen to this. He said, "Is your dad John Rigdon?" And Dwight, told Dwight, yeah. He said, I worked with him and Russell till they retired from FGE, Fruit Growers Express there. Rob Barrick says, I'm glad I don't work in Jacksonville that often, but I run into plenty of those Brandon supporters all the time in Gville. And Steven says, I met you before, I'm sure, at the picnics and at the shop. So he probably did know Dwight. All right, guys. There's 17. Go ahead.
Stephen, I've known Dwight Allen since we were in first grade.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
He sure is, man. I love Dwight. All right, here we go. I need to know who's on. We're fixing to play the card game. Don't have any, what's the date today? Didn't get a chance to get to that. So that's all right. The carryover continues. We have several people in there, but we're fixing to play the card game. If you get the high card and you can tell me what card you were, you have to be online to win. So there's 16 of you online. So I'm going to start with Stephen Rigdon. Stephen Rigdon, this is your card. You going to help me out on keeping up with this?
Okay.
Stephen's got to tell it back to me. You got the 3 of spades. Oh,
man.
Stephen, tell me that you're on. Never know. All right. Let's start with Rob Barrick. Is Rob Barrick still on? Rob Barrick, your card is the Queen of Diamonds. Hello. Rob Barrick. So you got to tell me what your card is. You got to come back and tell me what your card is. Tell me if you're online. Shirley Bagwell, this is your card. The 9 of clubs. You have to tell me your card. Okay, so Stephen's already done that. I hope Rob's doing it. All right. Melissa Cribbs, this is your card. The 2 of diamonds. Sorry, Melissa. Quit laughing.
I wish I was playing blackjack right now.
Quit laughing, Byron. All right. Here we go.
Who let him cut the card?
I'm just doing it now. All right, here we go. Let's see who else is on.
Rob's got it down too.
Rob's got it, and Steven's got it, and Melissa. The Queen of Diamonds is Rob's. Yeah.
Okay.
Where's Shirley's at? Shirley's is a 9 of clubs. Olivia's on. All right, here we go. Olivia, here we go. This is your card. The 8 of hearts. Ain't going to beat that Queen of Diamonds. All right, that's okay. Two of diamonds I've lost. Michael Box, here we go. This is your card, brother. Tell me if you're here so I can get you. A 3 of diamonds. Oh, boy. There's a lot of low cards.
Man, what are you working on that flush and that straight?
Yeah, on that straight, man. I'm telling you. Hey, uh-oh. Who else is here? Oh, Randy Brooks. Randy, here you are. You got the 8 of clubs. My goodness. Hey, you're looking for a boat there. 8s and 3s. Okay, Olivia said 8 of hearts. All right, here we go. Who else is on? Tell me if I haven't given you a card. Tell me that you're on.
Oh, my God. Somebody's not on his meds tonight.
Billy Rayburn's on. Billy Rayburn's on. I'm not saying that either. Billy Rayburn, here's your card. Oh, the Ace of Diamonds. Uh-oh, just beat out Rob. He's got to come back and say it, though. He's got to come back and tell me.
Ellen Disher Williams.
All right, Ellen, here we go. Ellen, here's your card. The 4 of hearts. Working on a straight there, little pinwheel straight. All right, who else is on? Who else is on? Come on now, don't be shy. Dwight Allen, here he is. Here's Dwight's card.
Dwight, yep.
Here's Dwight's. A 6 of diamonds. Oh, boy. Who else is on? Who else is on? Come on, tell me. Michael Box said that 3 of diamonds. He probably said you put that in the back of his truck. Who else is on? All right, y'all told me that's good. Right now, that's Billy Rayburn's gift certificate right now.
Where's my
but let me tell you something. Billy, okay, he did say the Ace of Diamonds, so he's in. Okay. Olivia, yep, we've already got you, sweetie. Who else is on? Who else is on? I've only got, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There should be, Roy Jackson's on. Here we go, Roy. Your card is, sorry, brother, you just got burnt. The King of Clubs. Dadgummit. King of Clubs. Oh, Dwight said, didn't I get a 6 last week? You sure did.
He doesn't cut the cards anymore if I'm here.
Yeah. Hey, Jeff Goins, here we go. Here's your card, sir. A 2 of hearts. God, a lot of low cards.
Man, I wish I had this hand.
Yeah, me
That poker
too,
tournament
yeah.
You ran.
Billy Rayburn said, go ahead and give it to me. I ain't giving you jack. Hey, who else is on? There's still aces out there. There's still aces out there. Who else is on?
That's a small straight flush.
Yes, it is. It sure is. Who else is on?
Not quite.
Not quite. We
Not
still.
quite.
So ace two. Yeah.
Almost.
Almost. We need the
4 of diamonds, or you
or
need the king of diamonds, one of the two.
yeah, or the 5 of diamonds.
Or the 5 of diamonds.
Diamonds. Yep. All right. Hey, who else is on? Come on, tell me. I can't read minds. Who else is on? Sharon
You
Pettiford, are
play
you
it
on?
that way. Some people don't play it that way anymore.
Christopher Davis is on. Here we go.
Who?
Chris Davis. We got to talk about his restaurant that he'll be opening up too. Oh, you got burnt, brother. Queen of Hearts. Wow.
Billy Rayburn makes a comment like that, and it
Yeah.
pulls the highest card.
Yeah, it pulls the eyes. As a matter of fact, you want to take Billy's out? We could.
No, we
Nah,
don't
that's
do it like
shenanigans.
that.
Who else is on?
I'm on
Who
my
else is
meds
on? Couple of
tonight.
more. Who else is on? All right, I'll tell you what.
Oh God!
Yeah, but man, I'm not even reading that stuff. I'm not even Billy. He's not on his meds, and he's going to win this daggum thing. I tell you what. If you drew a deuce, if you can prove to me that you drew a 2, I'm going to give you a chance at another card. The 2s that were drawn. Who is it, David? Have you been writing it? Tell me if you got a 2. Let's see. Jeff Goins. Was you one of those 2s?
Melissa Cribbs was.
And Melissa Cribbs was. Melissa, here's your new card. The 8 of spades. Well, we got a full house right here, though. All right. Yep. And who else was it 2 there? Jeff Goins. Jeff Goins, here's your new card, Jeff. Your new card is...
Yeah, Ace of Clubs.
Oh! And Billy Rayburn just got burnt because we're going to play it this way. We're going to play suits.
And that's why you don't say things like what you said just now,
The
Billy.
Billy Rayburn.
Burn,
The ace of spades, Jeff Goins,
Is gonna
win the whole pot.
Yep.
There's no sense in even doing any more.
Yep.
The ace of spades jacked up the ace of diamonds. Wow. Congratulations. Oh, Shirley. It doesn't matter, Shirley, but I'll draw you a card. Right?
Yeah, you can draw.
That's a 5 of clubs. 5 of clubs. That's okay.
Dad would have taken that.
Yeah, he sure would
I'd
have.
have taken that hand too. That's
Wow. Jeff Goins, congratulations. I know you live up in Vidalia. Do you get down here? It's worth $10. You want me to give it to somebody? It's up to you, brother. I'll hold it. You tell me. Anyway, hey, let's move on, Byron. I want to talk about a couple of things. I know. Congrats to Jeff. Yes, congrats to Jeff. OTS game. And that's good. All right. So there you go. Jeff, you tell me what you want me to do with this, brother. I'm going to get it to Dave Holland for now. How about y'all stick them cards where the sun don't shine?
That's Billy.
That's Billy
have to
Rayburn.
look.
And I know he's not on his meds. Look how he's... Son, question mark. He said he'll get his daughter to get it. Okay,
Yeah,
that's fine. Yeah, that's great. Hey, she can get it from Dave's shop, or she can get it from me here at the studio. You tell me what you want me to do, and I'll get it there. Erica Stolnacker. Okay, I know Erica. Yeah, just tell her to hit me up on Facebook.
That's good.
Jeff, and I will give it to her. Okay, we'll find a place to meet up. All right, let's move on then because, hey, this show's been great so far. David, what time is it? What hour are we in?
We got 7:54.
7:54 Eastern Time. Again, welcome in On the Spot with David Rodgers. I'm your creator and host, David Rodgers, co-creator and co-host, the Byron Bagwell, co-creator and director and producer and the Dancing Destroyer. He is Super Dave Holland. No Austin Stevens tonight. And no Mitchell Gunner. We're praying for his son as he probably is at the hospital. I have not heard from Mitchell Gunner yet, so I hope that young man, Zane, has gotten that temperature down.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
Absolutely got to have that. All right, go ahead.
Before
Dave.
we go on,
Yes, sir.
cut
Come
the
on.
cards, put them back in the deck, and don't mess with them till next week.
Okay.
I just shuffled the deck about
Okay.
7 or 8 times.
Put him back. Put him back.
You
Put them back. I'll trust you to put them back.
Trust
There
him.
you go.
Don't forget, David, I remember when you only had 2 viewers, me and you. Billy Rayburn. Oh, my God. Where is he coming? Where is he? What is he doing?
That doesn't make any sense because me and Dwight Allen were watching the show.
That's right. So there was at least 4. Oh, hey,
Another show.
wait a minute. Don't accuse me of anything. You better put those back, too.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, that's just those cards, but you better put them back.
Jokers, man. You ain't putting the jokers in there. We got one
No,
watching now.
yeah, we've got one watching now. His name is Billy Rayburn. Joker. Anyway, we're going to move on right here. The card's been cut for next week. Congratulations, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to On the Spot with
What
David
in the
Rodgers.
world?
So, hey, do you know we have views from Bahamas? Jimmy Langley.
Stallnacher.
Yeah, I'm friends with her on Facebook, so yeah, I'll definitely hook me. Tell her to hit me up, and I'll take care of that.
Out of state.
Yeah, out of the country.
Out of the country.
Yeah, USVI. We have a couple of viewers over there. Nikki Pagano, she watches the show from down there. She lives down there now. And I've got a couple of Navy buddies that are living down there now that watches the show.
Bahamas?
I don't know. Yep. No, but Bahamas is Jimmy Langley.
Jimmy Langley.
USVI is what I'm talking about.
Virgin Islands.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got people in Frisco. We got people in Kodiak, Alaska. We've got people everywhere that watches Pascagoula, Mississippi, Tallahassee, you name it, Raleigh, North Carolina, you name it, we're on. And I'll tell you, all we got to do is have you guys spread this show all over the daggum Facebook and YouTube, which we will be on YouTube tomorrow night as soon as Austin Stevens downloads it. We'll be on YouTube.
Speaking of YouTube, if you're watching us on YouTube, please click the like and subscribe
Absolutely,
buttons.
yes.
Please. That will help
Yeah.
us tremendously on YouTube. You will get notifications when our videos come up.
Yes, sir. All right, Byron, let's move on. We got a couple of little things to talk about. Byron, David, and, of course, OTS Nation. What if I told you that I was the devil? What if I told you, Byron, if I was the devil? I could be. Because if I was the devil, I heard you had one of yours from Russia, Mr. Putin. Yep, he sure does, brother. Yep, he watches us because he's wanting to know what our next strategic move is, and me, Byron, and David ain't letting the cat out the bag.
No.
So how about that?
And
What do you say
tell
about
who's
that?
watching this show covertly.
You can drop my 20. Oh, yeah, I do have one for him. He said, do you mind dropping it off at his house, Byron?
I don't mind.
Okay.
It won't be tonight, Roy. It'll be late.
Yeah, it'll definitely be late. So DeSantis sending troops to the border.
Just, Roy, hit me up on
Uh-huh.
Facebook Messenger and let me know what your address is, and I'll drop it off to you tomorrow.
So if I were the devil, this is what I'd do to you, David, do to you, Byron, and do to all of you watching OTS, because I wouldn't give 2 rats' ass about you.
This is one of my favorites.
Yes, it is, of all time. If I were the devil, if I were the prince of darkness, because I can be, I'd want to engulf the whole world in darkness. And I'd have 1/3 of its real estate. That sounds great. And 4/5 of its population, Dave. But I wouldn't be happy until I had seized the ripest apple on the tree. Woo! The ripest apple on the tree. You know who that is? You watch it. Because I'm the devil. I'm the prince of darkness, David. That's right. So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the greatest country in the world today, the United States of America. I've already started doing that, David, as the Prince of Darkness. I'd subvert the churches first. Hey, I'm getting in there. Subvert, yes.
Subvert the
The
churches
churches,
first.
yeah, my bad. Yes. I begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of a serpent. A serpent, David. I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve.
In case
How
you
about
didn't hear
that?
him, he said, "Do as you please."
To the young, I would whisper this. The Bible is a myth. The Bible is a myth. David, the Bible's a myth. And I can preach it because I'm the prince of darkness. I'm the devil. I rule this world. Right? I would convince him that man created God instead of the other way around. I can do that. I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square. Really? In the old, I would teach to pray after me. Our Father, which art in Washington, not which art in our heaven, in Washington, man. I would teach you. I've got Byron believing it already. Look at him. He's eating it up. Byron believes me because I'm the prince of darkness, Byron. I am the guy. I am the devil. But hey, I'm not stopping there, Byron. And then I'd get organized. I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature exciting so that anything else would appear dull and uninteresting. I'd threaten TV with dirtier movies and vice versa. I'd peddle narcotics from here to the other side of the world to whom I could. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd tranquilize the rest of you with pills. Sounding familiar? Because I am the prince of darkness. That's right. If I were the devil, I'd soon have families that war with themselves, churches at wars with themselves, and nations at war with themselves. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, heck yeah, it does. Until each in its turn was consumed. And with promises of higher ratings, I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames. Really? Boy, we're not doing that right now, are we? But I'm in control. The devil, I'm doing it already. If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions. Just let those run wild until before you knew it, you'd have to have drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door and entrance. Within a decade, Byron, I'd have prisons overflowing. I'd have judges promoting pornography. Boy, I've got them right now, David, man. I'm eating them up, son. You two can't do a thing. You can't do a thing about it. Did you know that? Soon, I could evict God from the courthouse. Then I'd go to the schoolhouse. And then from the houses of Congress. And in his own churches, I would substitute psychology for religion and defy science. I would lure priests and pastors into misusing boys and girls and church monies. If I were the devil, I'd make the symbols of Easter an egg and the symbol of Christmas a bottle. If I were the devil, I'd take those from those who have and give to those who want until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious.
Say that again.
If I were the devil, I'd take from those who have and give to those who want until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious. And what do you bet? I could get whole states to promote gambling as the way to get rich. I would caution against extremes in hard work, in patriotism, and in moral conduct. I would convince the young that marriage is old-fashioned, that swinging is more fun, than what you see on the TV is the way to be. And thus, I can undress you in public, and I could lure you into bed with diseases from which there is no cure. In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing. That was powerful. Byron knows it. David knows it. That was said 60, 70 years ago. 20, my math. On a radio broadcast by a very famous, he was a news anchor too, but he was a radio personality.
Very
But right
prophetic.
here, this, what I read to you, I got from 1965 because he redid it again. But the first time it was ever said was in 1953.
Wow.
That man prophesied everything that is going on 70 years ago. Do you know who that man is?
I do.
Byron does, and I'm going to tell you. That man's name is Paul Harvey. Back in 1953 on a radio broadcast, he said this, 3 minutes and 12 seconds worth. He prophesies every dadgum thing that is going on today, right now. Isn't that ironic? It's like he's here and he's reading it all. But that was Paul Harvey. And let me tell you, what else does he say, Byron? And that's the rest of the story. I just wanted y'all to get a glimpse of our founding fathers, as Byron always talks about, great men, and through the periods of history, up until his point when he read that, and the point we are now 70 years ago, when he said that. Is everything, David, that he said right here, if he said right here, is it not true? Everything. To the pinpoint.
Everything.
Byron, do you want to add something to this? I know I read it, but I mean, he's prophesied, or just knew, or whatever the case may be, everything that is happening in 2023. It's hard for me to consume, Byron, that this man knew exactly what he was talking about.
Amazing.
I'll let you catch your breath, and you can climb into this, because this right here, it's hard to
If you
fathom.
haven't ever heard that, you need to go on YouTube and you need to pull up that speech, and it's called "If I Were the Devil" by Steve Harvey, and you need to listen to it. And it's very, very, very prophetic and very scary, because there are a lot of us out here who watch this and tell people the same things Steve Harvey was telling people back in the 50s. Paul, not
Yeah,
Steve.
yeah.
Steve Harvey's has a talk show.
Shirley Bagwell, no, Shirley Bagwell bombed it right on top of the head. But go ahead, Byron. I'm sorry, I mean to interrupt.
Yeah, I mean, he was an amazing speaker. He's an amazing storyteller. He was an amazing writer. And he nailed that. And the only thing I can add to it is Satan, get behind me.
Yeah.
Look, you have to decide where your moral values are and where they lie. And you have to live by those moral values. You have to make the decisions to either follow God or follow Satan. Or if you want to say follow right and follow wrong, if you don't believe in God and you don't believe in Satan. But it's very, very clear and it's very, very defined what is going on now with our nation. We don't follow God's laws. We don't follow our Constitution. And Adams said it absolutely best. The Constitution of the United States only is appropriate for a moral country. And we are very quickly losing our moral values. All you've got to do is look at the people who kids idolize now. And it's to me, it's crazy. I mean, they don't even have to have talent. If you're looking at musicians, they just got to show their bodies off. I mean, I sit through a halftime show for about 20 minutes with a performer that was not even singing, and musicians that weren't even playing. That was Rihanna. She was not singing. I'm sorry if you think she was, but she was not. And I can tell you for sure that her guitar player was not playing, because that guy's far beyond incredibly talented. But he wasn't playing. And he would be, I guarantee you, if you asked Nino Bencourt if he was playing, he would tell you, no. We have an issue. And the only thing we can do is to turn to our moral values in this country and try to convince other people to do it too. It's the only thing we can do. As far as removing church from state, that's not what our Constitution says. That the term separation of church and state is nowhere to be found in our Constitution or its amendments. The term separation of church and state came from a letter from Thomas Jefferson to and from some Baptist ministers. What the First Amendment says, literally says, is that the government shall establish no state religion. And it also says that it can abridge the free practice of it. That term it by itself says government doesn't have to be separated from religion. It just can't. You can't put a single state religion on. And it's by state, I mean government religion. And they're talking about things like, we're now a Baptist nation. You can't do it. We're now a Buddhist nation. You can't do it. We're now a Muslim nation. You can't do it. But you can't stop people from practicing religion the way they want to. It doesn't matter whether it's in a government building. It doesn't matter whether it's in a school. It doesn't matter anywhere where it is. It is a violation of our Constitution to do so. Look, good people know right from wrong. And you have to have that little voice on your shoulder going, am I doing right or am I doing wrong? You're not perfect. There was only one perfect person. To me.
To me too.
That's my belief. And you have to understand that you're going to make mistakes and you're going to do bad things. That is why there are guides like the Bible. It tells you how to live your life right. It tells you the things to do to live your life in a good way. It's not just a guide getting you to heaven. It is a guide for you should live life. And if you get it from the Bible, or if you get it from wherever you get it from, if you get it from books like this gentleman, you will find that there is a coherence to all of it. And that is, there is a right and there is a wrong, and your conscience should be your guide.
Yep.
The way you're brought up has to do with what conscience you have. And that's one of the biggest problems that we have in this country.
Mm-hmm.
We are allowing children to do whatever they want to watch whatever they want
Byron,
to,
can I go
act however they want to.
Do as you please.
Do as you please.
Do as you please. The serpent is telling you, do as you please.
It's scary. It's very, very scary to me because I will not get in your face and tell you you need to know Jesus.
No, I'm not either.
Okay.
Who am I to judge, right? I'm not,
Well,
and that really is, and it says it in the Bible. Was it in Exodus or whatever? Not
judge
Exodus.
you not, lest you be
Be
judged.
Be judged.
But
Yes.
that's see that is a little bit iffy too, because the Jewish interpretation of that is more like judge not where a person is going in the afterlife.
It's really what. Yes.
Is really what that says. You are meant to judge people. That is in the Bible too. You are meant to look at people and go, this person is constantly doing bad things. I need to stay away from this person because I am human, I am fallible, and I can be influenced by the devil through another person.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people who think you shouldn't judge other people. And in a lot of ways, you shouldn't. You should judge other people by their continuing actions. I've known people who've had drug problems and have beaten it. and become really good people and contributing members to the society. Multiple people who have done that. I've known people who've had problems with alcohol. I've known people who have lived their lives the way they shouldn't, and then they turn their lives around. The help of God, through the help of their own intelligence and their understanding. Look, there is a right and there is a wrong, and your conscience should be your guide with that. And a lot of people don't listen to that conscience anymore.
You know, Shirley, your mom, your beautiful mom that we love, by the way, she says the devil has tried through history and has always failed. Shirley, I want to throw that back at you. Has he? Because everything that Mr. Paul Harvey said right here that I read off to you is happening in the world today, and that is the work of the devil. The devil rules this world until what I believe in, like you said, when God comes for the coming, nobody knows the hour, the date, the time. Nobody knows that. And until that happens, the devil rules this world.
And I think the devil plays anarchy with that too.
And he does as well.
Because you do not judge the mind of God.
Right.
And there's all sort of signs that have been seen forever. It says it's the end time. Trust in your faith. Trust in your belief.
Mm-hmm.
And you won't have any issues. Whether it happens 10 days from now, 2 minutes from now, or 300 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
David, look. Man is a creature of striving. And when people don't strive to make themselves better, the devil plays
In on that.
you cannot be stagnant. And it doesn't matter what you do to not remain stagnant, whether it's, thank you, Jordan Peterson. This is such a beautiful line that everybody laughs about, but it's the honest truth. Clean your room. There are a lot of people that have a problem with organizing themselves in their homes. But a clean room is a reflection of a person's mind.
Yeah.
If you take care of certain things, you will start finding out that not only will you move forward and start doing other things that you need to do to keep your place in life and keep your life moving forward, you will find that you're a whole heck of a lot happier, because a stagnant person is not a happy person, because they're not striving. Human
No,
beings
he's not productive.
are meant to strive towards goals. You can't do everything you want to do in all of a sudden next week you're doing your biggest goal. You can't do it. You do that in little bitty chunks. You move yourself forward. And this is another thing that Peterson says. I'm still pitiful. I can only do this much. But I did move forward. And tomorrow or next week, I will make the next step. And I still will be pitiful, and I'll still move forward. But guess what? In a year, if I keep that up, I won't feel like a pitiful person anymore, because I will have started to reach the goals that I set for myself.
Yep. I agree.
If you start looking at the Bible, not only from a spiritual perspective, but from, and preachers will warn about this, but from an intelligence perspective, it is a guide. It is set up to make you understand that man has to strive to live in God's hands, because that's what we're meant to do. We're meant to move forward. And you look at our government, are we moving forward? Are they moving forward? Or are they playing games to stagnate us, to not move forward? You want to talk about greatness. If our politicians, starting in about the early 1900s, let's say 1900 period, had strived to push us forward to where this country could be, this country right now would have very, very few problems. But instead, what they've done on and off, and it's not all of them, but it's a good majority of them, have pushed us into strife, into going against each other. And it's sad. Because
Byron,
we're
you
all
know,
Americans.
yeah. Real quick before I get with Byron here in a minute. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hello, Albie. We just seen that, Dammy. Sorry, I hope he wasn't in bed. We just wanted to get through that there. You know, look, I don't know how many times you've said this, especially when it comes around July 4th and we start talking about the Declaration of Independence, and I know how teary-eyed you get, and I get teary-eyed as well, just because of the words and the profound statements and the profound things that were being said and done. If it doesn't hit you like that, to me personally, your heart has been clouded with darkness. And I can tell you, if you don't care about that, then you don't care about people. You don't care about what else is going on, like Byron says. This is a good and evil thing, and I think
all
you sort
men
of
are
said
created
equal.
Created
Yes.
by their. Look, not just the words, not just the meaning of the words, but what those men risked for us.
Mm-hmm.
That is the point of the Declaration of Independence.
Yep.
Are there people out there that would do the same thing? Yes. There are people out there that would do the same thing now. Are there many of them? Probably not. Probably not in the percentage that there was then. Because I know some of you have heard of 3%ers.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't know where that comes from. 3% is the number of the population of the colonies of Great Britain that fought to free themselves from Great Britain. Now, the support that they got from other people was a little bit over 50% of the populace. Some people were ambivalent to it, and some people actually still supported the crown and didn't want to become a free nation. But those men cared enough about our freedom and our right to have liberty. That's a word that we don't talk about anymore, is liberty. Our right to have liberty. That they sacrificed, some of them, their lives, some of their families' lives, their properties, their means of income. Some of them died destitute, not without homes, living on the street, because they did what they did to give us what we have. And some of us.
You know, your mother has brought up a good point. So did Dwight. Judge a tree by the fruit that it bears. Shirley Bagwell said, excuse me, let's look at the parents. You know, Byron, when me and you was growing up, we talked about this, and we talked about this with your mom and dad and Shelley and whoever else with Dwight. I know when I did something wrong back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me. Sinuses. I got my tail tore up. Mm-hmm. And I learned my lesson. Mm-hmm. And guess what? If I did it again, that was on me. Shame on me.
Yeah.
Because I knew what I was going to get.
You knew better.
Yeah. So if I did it again, I must have not have cared that I knew better. So my punishment should be twice as much. Go ahead.
David, it wasn't just the tail whooping that you got, and I didn't get a whole lot of them. I got some of them because I was a child and I did stupid things, which children do. But it was the understanding that my parents were who they were, and they had the moral values that they had. And really, what hurt me more is that they were disappointed in me and how I acted. That hurt me more than a tail whipping.
Oh, yeah.
It always did, with the exception of one. And my mother will remember this because I laughed at her one time. That was a mistake. But that's another story. You know, look, you have to have that. You have to have it from a very young age. Those type of things instilled in you, because especially boys.
Yeah.
Boys are boys. They're going
Uh-huh.
to be rambunctious. They're going to
Yeah.
have a ton of energy. They need to play. They need to be able to go outside and do things. But they also need to be taught right from wrong, and it constantly needs to be pounded in their head because they're boys. I'm going outside to play, and I'm going to ride around on my bike, or I'm going to go build a fort, or I'm going swimming, or whatever they're doing.
Right.
And they don't. They get one track mind onto what they're doing instead of what they should be doing.
Yeah.
So you have to.
Byron, when mine and David and anybody else was Shirley, Shelley, my parents, when our parents were growing up, there was, like Byron said, there was discipline. There was certain ways that you needed to do things because your mother and father taught you to do them that way. And that was usually, I hope to say for everybody, is the right way. Here's the problem. Today, back then, you waited till you were married or close to being married to have kids.
Yes.
Today, we've got kids having kids. How many times do you hear of a 13-year-old girl in middle school that's 6 to 8 months pregnant? This is rampant.
Now, it wasn't rampant. You heard about it back then.
Yes.
But normally what happened is that child was taken out of school and they went to another state to live with their relatives in another state because the parents and the family didn't want that.
It wasn't as affluent as it is today. And Byron, and you know that as well as I do. Yes, it happened back in the day.
David, look, we have a moral issue.
Yeah, that's exactly
We really
what it
do.
is.
And I understand people are busy, and I understand that people work long
Hours,
and
double jobs, I get all that.
Look,
Still got to find time to be a parent.
A child is a job in itself, and I know that too. But you cannot allow your child to grow up like some of these children are doing. That's like this.
That's the devil's creation.
That is a great
Great invention, yeah.
It's a great invention, but it is wide open.
Mm-hmm.
No child under the age of 15 should have one of these in their hands. And the only thing that they should be able to do with this at 15 is have a phone in their hands and not the rest of it.
Right.
Now, if you're at home and they're on a computer doing things for school, or they want to look up something about whatever they want, fine. It doesn't matter. But this is a gateway.
Mm-hmm.
And
To the devil's lair, by the way. Right?
we're part of it, David.
Yeah, well, of course we
YouTube
are.
is a cesspool.
Oh, of course. It's a cesspool.
And
TikTok, Instagram?
no, that's If you want to read something that will chill you to the core, read
Mm-hmm.
TikTok's end user agreement.
Mm-hmm.
But look, I can talk about this till I'm blue in the face. People are going to do what they're going to do. You have to make that decision yourself and do what you think is right with that. Kids are going to say, well, my friend's got a phone, and my friend's got an iPad, and my friend's got this, and my friend's got that. Well, you're not your friend.
Yeah. You know what my dad used to tell me? Hey, you're my kid. They're not my kid.
Look,
you're my kid.
You can have the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, the Switch, whatever you have, for an hour a day. During the weekends, on school nights, you're not getting it at all until your homework's finished, until you've done what you need to do around the house.
It's not being pressed enough in the household, though. What you just said is not being pressed enough in the household. Somebody's got to be held accountable. Who are you holding accountable?
No, I can tell you who I held accountable. And this is part of the reason why I'm not teaching anymore. The parents have to be held accountable. They are responsible for their children until they're 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Their actions are supposed to be reflecting back on their parents, and they're not anymore. I mean, and look, I'm not saying that all children are bad. I'm really not, because there's really good kids in this world. See it all the time. See it here in Bradford County.
Mm-hmm.
See it. I mean, I see it.
Mm-hmm.
But even the really good kids have a hard time because they're surrounded by so much bad in this world. And unless somebody's there all the time with them, it's easy. It's easy to give in to temptation. We've all been in that spot.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So, I mean, look, teach your children right from wrong so you don't have to worry about them constantly about them falling into temptation, because they're going to. I can tell you they're going to between the ages of 18 and probably about 26, 27 years old.
Yeah.
Until they start realizing that they want a stable life and they want things like you had. That's normally the age people figure it out, 18 to 26. Okay? But if you taught them right from wrong, they may still do wrong. But the majority of things they're going to do is right. And then when they do wrong, they're going to look at themselves
And go,
I can't be doing
that.
Can't be doing that anymore. The consequences are not good for me doing that. I didn't know we were going to get into this psychological.
Because it is a psychological speech. I mean, you could take like you said, we could talk.
It's religious.
It's religious. It's the truth of what's going on in society today.
Well, I mean, we haven't even gone into the
No,
spiritual
side of it. No,
because honestly, that's what Satan is. Satan is a fallen angel, but he is the manifestation of man's evil.
Mm-hmm.
That is what Satan is. Satan is the manifestation of man's evil brought to life.
the devil knows more about the truest book I think is on earth than people. He knows that book in and out. That's how he can monopolize you and get you to do things.
He said it God's right. He basically said it God's right hand.
Yeah, he did. So there you go. Anyway, it's 8:30 local. Byron, I want to get in next week. I'll leave it for next week.
Give us just a little bit.
Let me give you a little. Let me give you a little time. I just want y'all to think. I had here. My lovely daughter got me for my birthday. It says Trump 2024. Let's make America great again. We know he's already put his name in the pool for the Republican nominee. And there's another guy that has done it too, which is the governor of this great state of Florida. His name is Ron DeSantis. And both of them are trying to get the Republican nomination. And what I wanted to do, get from Byron next week, and hopefully he'll be on the show. Hopefully everything works out.
Let me say a little bit about that when you're finished. I want to say just a little bit about it before we go.
So, we brought this subject up about 2 or 3 weeks ago when Byron was last on the show, and I asked him about that, and I asked you about that. And actually, you asked me the question, do you think, DeSantis need to run this particular term? And I told you no, and I told you the reasons why, but now he's got his name in the hat. I want to know from you and our viewers is what do you think is going to happen here at the end? I'm telling you what I hope is going to happen, and I know Byron wants to get in a few words on this, but I hope these two come together and let President Trump get the presidential nomination and DeSantis be his vice president. Is it going to come to fruition? I asked Byron that before we came on the show tonight, and he gave a couple of little answers here, but we're going to get into more about this next week, along with continuation of what we just talked about. But I'm going to give you a couple of minutes, Byron, and go ahead and say what you want to say about Trump DeSantis.
Okay. It's very simple to me about Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis. Very, very simple. We'll break it down into 3 things. First and foremost, Donald Trump's been president before. The man has experience, and I don't care who you are, you have to say that we were better off when he was president than we are now. Okay? Second, Ron DeSantis is governor of Florida, and he is a great governor, and he should still be here because I want him still in my state. That may be selfish, but that is really the honest truth. I want to see Donald Trump win this again because I think he will win the election this next time. Well, no matter what the Democrats pull with their shenanigans with the votes, I think he'll win the next time because people will come out in droves to vote for him because of what's going on right now with our economy. That is one of the most important things in there. That being said, the Donald Trump, Ron DeSantis ticket together, I would not have an issue with. And the question that was brought up, would Donald Trump be Ron DeSantis' vice president? Donald Trump's a lot of things. He is a loudmouth, but the one thing that Donald Trump is, or two things that Donald Trump is, number one, he's a good actor. And number two, he's a very intelligent man that knows that if he can help this country by being a vice president, guess what's going to happen? You're going to see Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump. I will tell you this. If the Republican Party is foolish enough not to back whoever wins that primary,
And that's where I'm going.
we are going to have issues. Whether it's Donald Trump or Ron DeSantis, it does not matter. That's the other reason I didn't want Ron DeSantis to run, because I don't want this party split. Because we can't have another 4 years of this bumbling fool idiot that we have up there now. And if you get mad, people get mad at me for saying that, they can say what they want to. If you can look at me straight in the face and tell me that man's all there after listening to his speeches, there's something wrong with you. We have elected a man who is not all mentally there.
Right.
And we have people that cheer and go on about it. That's not sane.
I'll tell you what's going to happen. I hope it doesn't. I think they're going to cancel each other out.
Yeah.
And as Byron said, if that happens, you see him ducking his head, I assure you we are in major, major trouble. And like you said,
happen like that.
it can, though. It can happen like that. You hope it doesn't happen like that, but it can. The only other way that that doesn't happen and it's still going to be screwed up is if somebody runs independent.
Well,
And you see what I'm saying? And that could happen.
And we don't necessarily know who else is going to run either.
No, we don't.
Because I can tell you there are some other candidates out there that I would vote for. Do I think they can win the primary? I'm not sure. But you put somebody like Ted Cruz on that same ballot,
Ooh. Ooh.
and I'm going to sit there and I'm going to look at that and go,
Yeah, I'm going to look at that and get me too.
okay, so the president has experience with that, and Ted Cruz doesn't. But Ted Cruz
Has experience of that.
He is a constitutional lawyer,
Yep.
and he is a great representative for the state of Texas. So, what happens when we start branching out into some of that? I mean, I don't think Ted Cruz can beat either.
No, I don't think no.
But
He could cause some waves though.
he could cause some bad problems. in
Yeah,
Texas,
bad
'cause the people in
problems.
Texas
Yeah.
know him.
No, yes.
Look, look. The bottom line is, whoever the Republican candidate is, as a Republican Party goes, we need to vote for him, and it doesn't matter whether you're mad at Donald Trump or you're mad at Ron DeSantis. We have to get this person that's in office now. I use that term lightly because I can go on about what he's done in the past. Person that's in office out of office.
That's what I've been preaching, Byron, even when you're not here, when you were here these last several weeks about our economy. People's got to wake up. People's got to open their eyes and go, hey, this is not working.
$8 for a dozen eggs?
Eggs? What? Are you kidding me?
$4 for a gallon of gasoline?
Lee, you got to admit, whether, like Byron said, and I'm going to close this out, whether what Byron said, you take it to heart or whatever the case may be, and you don't like Trump for this or DeSantis for that, at least with Trump, we knew what we had. And what we had was a stabilized economy. We had great paying jobs here in the United States. We had jobs aplenty that we couldn't even fence. Energy independence, that move that he pulled with King Fahd over there in Saudi Arabia was about the best chess piece I've ever seen played in my whole life. I mean, come on. You've got to at least respect the man because, honestly, deep down, I know that somebody's going to say, well, he's this, he's that. He does love America. He wants the American people, its citizens, to succeed in whatever that they're doing. And that's the bottom line. He knows a working America, Byron, is a profitable America.
And here's something else I'm going to say, and I truly mean this. This has geopolitical implications. America is no longer energy independent and helping the world function through the oil and the natural gas that we're selling. That's cut off because the Democrat Party's a bunch of buffoons that believe in global warming. Sorry, you're never going to convince me that man-made global warming exists, because it doesn't. Number one. Number two, when you cut our energy independence off, who started supplying oil to a lot of the European nations? Give you a little hint. It gave him the ability to invade the Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
The Democrats did that. You gave Putin the power to do it, and he did it because Putin is extremely intelligent. No matter what you say, the man's evil, but he is extremely intelligent. He is a KGB agent, and you don't ever leave that.
No.
But he knows how to play the world political game correctly. And it's almost like they just gave him the keys to the Ukraine, which I can believe too. Because guess what? Our president doesn't like the Ukraine because they tried to get his son for the laws that he broke in the Ukraine. If you don't believe him, listen to the quid pro quo that he said on national TV. Look, we have to get rid of these people.
Yep.
And if you don't believe that, believe your pocketbook and your eyes about what's going on in this country, because it's not good for you, it's not good for your children, and it's not good for this nation.
Before we close out, Byron, I've seen something. I'm sorry, Ellen. I hope you're still on. I will be praying. We will be praying for your daughter. Absolutely. She must be in the National Guard. She must be getting one. You know what I'm saying? That's being deployed. Ellen, yeah, we definitely pray for your daughter and anybody else that's going over there. Much prayers to you and your family. Real quick, Byron, do you want to mention about Mitchell Gunner and OTS Motorsports?
Yeah,
give Mitchell
tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Mitchell Gunner.
Thursday night.
Thursday night.
Yeah, you think night's Wednesday?
We'd be fishing right now if it was Wednesday, probably.
Which we still got to talk about that.
Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Mitchell Gunner, all sort of great guests from all sort of racing sports. He always has them, and it's always a great show. Click like on it. It's live on Facebook, and he also that's also posted to YouTube. Like and subscribe it. Mitchell's a great host. Mitchell races himself and is extremely knowledgeable about all of it.
Yes, he is. And again, tune in to On the Spot Motorsports. But hey, tomorrow, man, me and you're going to be doing something fun along with two other people. You know what we're going to be doing tomorrow, Byron, around 4 o'clock?
Getting skunked.
Yes. Byron is. Byron's already bragged, so I'm going to get my thing in on you.
Go ahead.
Byron already says, me and Donnie Bagwell and Autumn and Byron are going fishing tomorrow afternoon. And you've already said you're going to teach us a thing or two. Your dad can attest that. I wish he was on here.
He can attest to
that. He already knows, but I'm going to tell you right now, you already said you're going to have fish.
I'll have everybody fishing with the bait that I'm using about 30 minutes into it. I promise you I will. If they bite like they were biting you guys last week, I will have everybody fishing with the lure that I use within 30 minutes.
Do you have enough lures for all of us?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's good.
I've got plenty of those.
Okay, so, anyway, tomorrow we're going fish. And then we rib at each other. It's going to be fun, man. I tell you, we're looking forward to that. You know, we get serious.
We're going to have fun.
Yes, we sure are. And you know, we always get serious on this show, Byron, on some of the topics because it's very personal to us. It hits us in the heart. I, a former military member, Byron's father, a former military member, Dave, people that watch our show, and these guys that watch the show and are on the show are so very patriotic. I think they were in as well, but they wasn't. They love this country. They want to see this country succeed. They want to see this country thrive, and it starts with us. We got to get these jamokes out of there, them jacknuts that I always call them, out of office, get some new blood in there. Let's turn this dadgum thing around. And I believe this is the guy that can do it, man. He's already done it before. And
David, I don't care which one of them. Is.
I don't either. I mean, I'm just saying. I know he can do it. I know he can do it.
Any of those three guys we just talked about. And I know Ron DeSantis can do it too.
Oh, yes, he can.
And I know Ted Cruz can do it. Any of those three guys is better than what we have now because the man has a mental condition. I hate to say that, but I'm around it all the time. I work for a hospice. I see it all the time.
Sorry, I forgot about that. Oh, man. Patricia Baker says, Trump is the man for the job. I agree.
If he wins the primary, guess what? He's the man for the job.
If DeSantis wins,
I don't have an issue with that.
If DeSantis,
I voted for him the last two times.
Yep.
I vote for him again. If DeSantis wins, he's the man
for the job.
I don't care as long who it is. Well, I do. I don't want to put anybody in there that cannot run this country.
Right.
But anybody that's got a brain in their head that has proven themselves that they can lead a state or lead a nation or lead the Senate like Cruz does, I don't have an issue at all.
Shirley says, man, and I always forget because Shirley's, don't forget the military wives. Absolutely. And I'm sorry about that. Yes, they are a big integral part of this whole thing. Absolutely. They have to be here. They keep the household running. They keep up with things going on base while guys on deployment. Absolutely a big integral part. Absolutely. If he don't go, we're doomed. Well,
there's one circumstance that can stop that, and that's if we take the House and the Senate.
And the Senate.
We keep the House and get the Senate. Because we can make his second term a lame duck term. Yeah. And he can do nothing. And that's exactly what I would do when he starts doing.
He'd be a veto guy. Veto.
When he starts using his executive orders like he did at the beginning of his term, he could do is impeach him. And I would, because what he did with executive orders is unconstitutional.
Absolutely. All right, Byron, you close us out. The big guy, you're here. Close us out tonight.
Thank you, everybody, so much for watching On the Spot with David Rodgers. I am Byron Bagwell. The Byron Bagwell. Ladies and gentlemen.
And children of all ages.
Patriots.
And miscreants.
I hope everybody has a great night. From me and Mr. David Rodgers and Mr. Dave Holland, I hope you all have a great weekend and a great upcoming week. Please stay safe out there, and may God's grace follow you everywhere.
Amen. Good night, everyone.